नमस्कार, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है गाइस आपके अपने ही चैनल KFCS पर। गाइस आज का जो क टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन है वो बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त है जिसमें आप लोग भी पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं। आज हम बात करेंगे लीग स्टेज की इंडियन टीम से लेके 10 की 10 टीम्स उनका लीग स्टेज कैसा रहा और किस तरह का परफॉर्मेंस रहा, उनकी परफॉर्मेंस के अकॉर्डिंग उन्हें रिजल्ट्स मिला या नहीं मिला, इस बारे में पूरी बातचीत करेंगे। कोई भी जुड़ना चाहता है मेरे साथ जुड़ सकता है, लिंक आपको मैं कमेंट सेक्शन में प्रोवाइड कर दिया हूँ, तो आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं अपने क्वेश्चंस और उसको फिर हम लेंगे और फिर बातचीत करेंगे, पूरा डिस्कशन करेंगे। स्टार्ट करते सबसे पहले टीम इंडिया से। लीग स्टेज किस तरह का रहा है, सबसे पहले टीम इंडिया की हम बात करें तो गाइस उसमें ज़्यादा बात करने के लिए है नहीं, हर कोई जानता है इंडियन टीम ने डोमिनेट किया है और ये ऑब्वियस सी बात थी कि जब आप अपने घर में खेलते हैं तो ज़रूर डोमिनेट करते हैं। तो डोमिनेट किया, भारतीय टीम ने बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त खेला। अगर मैं बात करूँ सबसे पहले मैच से तो वो इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया मुझे याद आता है। इसमें इंडियन टीम एक टाइम पे ऐसा लग रहा था कि फँस गई है, जहाँ पे 2 रन पे 3 आउट हो जाते हैं। हेज़लवुड और स्टार्क का एक बहुत बेहतरीन स्पेल आता है। ईशान किशन 0 पे आउट हो जाते हैं, फिर रोहित शर्मा गोल्डन डक हो जाते हैं, उसके बाद फिर आपके अ श्रेयस अय्यर पे आउट हो जाते हैं। तो बहुत ही मुश्किल हो जाता है 2 रन पे 3 विकेट लेकिन वहाँ से आते हैं आपके केएल राहुल, विराट कोहली जो कि एक मैच बचाओ पारी खेलते हैं। एक ज़बरदस्त पारी खेल जाते हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट और ऑस्ट्रेलिया को पहली हार थमा दी जाती है। तो वहाँ से एक टेस्ट शुरू होता है मिडल ऑर्डर का कि मिडल ऑर्डर किस तरह से रिस्पॉन्ड करता है जब आप किसी ऐसी सिचुएशंस आएगी। तो पहला मैच हमने देखा इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया जिसको विराट कोहली और केएल राहुल मैच निकाल के ले गए। ऑफ कोर्स विराट कोहली का जो कैच वहाँ पे छूटा था, कहीं न कहीं वहाँ पे इंडिया मैच जीत गई थी। क्योंकि अगर विराट कोहली का वो कैच हो जाता तो शायद वो मैच फँस सकता था। फिर हम 21 पे 4 होते, फिर कहानी कुछ और हो सकती थी। लेकिन भारतीय टीम बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त खेली थी। फिर उसके बाद अगला मैच मुझे याद आता है अफ़गानिस्तान के अगेंस्ट जहाँ पे हमें रोहित शर्मा का वो दिलेर भरी इनिंग्स याद आती है जिसमें रोहित शर्मा बहुत ताबड़तोड़ बल्लेबाज़ी करते हैं, चेज़ करते हुए फटाफट से इंडिया चेज़ कर लेती है। और अफ़गानिस्तान को हरा दिया जाता है, विराट कोहली विनिंग शॉट लगाते हैं। फिर तीसरा मैच आता है, बहुत ही फ़ेमस स्टेडियम है अहमदाबाद में इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान का एक बहुत ज़बरदस्त मैच होता है और बहुत ज़्यादा उम्मीदें होती है लोगों को कि एक बहुत ही बड़ा मैच देखने को मिलेगा, लेकिन अनफॉर्च्यूनेटली पाकिस्तान की टीम जो है हमारे मज़े पे नमक छिड़क देती है और पाकिस्तान की टीम हार जाती है और मैच एक टाइम पे लगता है कि पाकिस्तान की टीम शायद 250 से ऊपर का स्कोर खड़ा करेगी, थोड़ा बड़ा अच्छा मैच होगा, लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं है और पाकिस्तान की टीम कोलैप्स करती है, हमारी बॉलर्स डोमिनेट करते हैं और उसके बाद रोहित शर्मा फिर से आते हैं और बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त पारी खेल जाते हैं। तो रोहित शर्मा इस मैच में बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त 80 प्लस रन्स बनाते हैं और इंडियन टीम ये मैच भी जीत जाती है। श्रेयस अय्यर 50 रन बना के नॉट आउट जाते हैं, तो पाकिस्तान को हम हरा देते हैं, यहाँ पे भारत की जीत की हैट्रिक लग जाती है। चौथे मैच की हम बात करें तो उसके बाद फिर हमारा जो अगला कारवां जाता है वो जाता है बांग्लादेश में। तो बांग्लादेश में चैलेंज आना स्टार्ट हुआ जब बांग्लादेश की टीम आई एक बैटिंग विकेट मिला पुणे की विकेट पे जाकर भारतीय टीम को थोड़ा-सा स्ट्रगल करना पड़ा, जब उनके ओपनर्स रन्स लगा चुके थे। फिर हमने देखा वहाँ पे कि रोहित शर्मा का डिस्कशन जो कि अ, बहुत ही इवेंटफुल साबित हुआ पूरे मैच के लिए जब उसके बाद उन्होंने डिस्कशन किया, ड्रिंक्स के बाद फिर विकेट्स गिरनी शुरू हुई और बांग्लादेश की टीम ने एक ठीक-ठाक स्कोर बनाती है बांग्लादेश की टीम। मैं आपको बता देता हूँ एक बार फिर से वो मैच की याद तरोताज़ा करते हैं। तो बांग्लादेश की टीम 256 रन बनाती है जो कि एक समय पे लग रहा था कि 300 का स्कोर बना सकती है, कैपेबिलिटी है इस टीम में। 256 रन बनाती है और भारतीय टीम को उस दिन शतक मिलता है, वो भी विराट कोहली से। विराट कोहली का 48वाँ शतक आता है। तो ये बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त और वो दिन बहुत ही शानदार था। बहुत सारी कंट्रोवर्सीज़ भी हुई विराट कोहली को लेके, लोग कहते लगे कि या विराट कोहली अपने लिए खेलते हैं, टीम के लिए नहीं खेल रहे। तो ऐसी बहुत सारी बात हुई थी, व्हाइट बॉल्स वो भी बात हुई थी उस दिन, जिसमें व्हाइट बॉल थी लेकिन अंपायर ने व्हाइट बॉल दिया नहीं, जो कि इंटेंशनली डाली गई थी। तो कुछ इस तरह का मैच हमें देखने को मिला और विराट कोहली का शतक आया। फिर अगले मैच पे अगर हम चले तो इंडिया वर्सेस न्यूज़ीलैंड मतलब ये जो मैच था वो बहुत ही कांटे की टक्कर होने की उम्मीद थी और वही हुआ इंडिया वर्सेस न्यूज़ीलैंड जिसमें डेरिल मिशेल का शतक आता है। अच्छी इनिंग्स खेलती है न्यूज़ीलैंड की टीम लेकिन अपने शमी भाई का फाइफर आता है। यहीं पे भारतीय टीम का एक चेंज नज़र आता है कि किस तरह से हमारी बॉलिंग यूनिट किस तरह से काम कर रही है। तो ये चीज़ हमें देखने को मिलती है और मोहम्मद शमी की एंट्री होती है, हार्दिक पांड्या चोट के कारण बाहर हो जाते हैं। मोहम्मद शमी आते हैं, पहले मैच में 5 विकेट चटकाते हैं, फिर चारों तरफ बातचीत शुरू हो जाती है। मोहम्मद शमी क्यों नहीं थे आप? इतने मैचेज़ से मोहम्मद शमी क्यों नहीं खेल रहे थे? तो ये बातचीत चल रही होती है न्यूज़ीलैंड के खिलाफ 273 रन बनाती है न्यूज़ीलैंड की टीम और न्यूज़ीलैंड की टीम के अगेंस्ट भी हम 6 विकेट खोकर उस मैच को जीत जाते हैं। विराट कोहली उस मैच में भी 95 बनाते हैं, हालाँकि शतक की कोशिश उस मैच में की जाती है बट अनफॉर्च्यूनेटली शतक नहीं मार पाते हैं लेकिन 95 रन्स जो कि बहुत क्रूशियल साबित होते हैं। अकेले डटे होते हैं वहाँ पे विराट कोहली जो कि टारगेट को चेज़ करा देते हैं और भारतीय टीम न्यूज़ीलैंड को 4 विकेट से हरा देती है। तो उस जीत के साथ भारतीय टीम के जो हैं हौसले बहुत ज़्यादा बुलंद हो गए थे, वहाँ पे 5 जीत हो चुकी थी। 1 जीत 1 कदम पे दूरी 1 जीत और लेनी थी भारतीय टीम को और भारतीय टीम क्वालीफाई कर जाती। उसके बाद फिर मैच आता है इंग्लैंड का, इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट तक न्यूज़ आती है कि हार्दिक पांड्या अब अवेलेबल नहीं होंगे। तो ये एक बड़ा चैलेंज होता है जो कि भारतीय टीम ने जैसे इसको फेस किया इसमें सबसे अच्छी चीज़ हमें देखने को मिली कि किस तरह से आपने बैटिंग बॉलिंग को बैलेंस किया। सूर्य कुमार यादव खेलते हैं और उसके बाद शमी को कंटिन्यू किया जाता है। बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त भारतीय टीम का इसमें रिस्पॉन्स होता है इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट बहुत कम स्कोर बनता है लेकिन विराट कोहली गोल्डन डक जाते हैं, रोहित शर्मा एक ज़बरदस्त पारी खेल जाते हैं, तो इससे क्या हुआ कि भारतीय टीम को एक नई चीज़ देखने को मिली इस मैच में कि हमने 229 को डिफेंड किया। हालाँकि इंग्लैंड की टीम ने बहुत हल्का परफ़ॉर्मेंस किया, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे, लेकिन इंडियन टीम ने फिर से अपना जलवा बिखेरा और हमारे बॉलर्स ने फिर से अपना जलवा बिखेरते हुए सामने वाली टीम को आउट किया। मोहम्मद शमी फिर से बहुत ही क्रूशियल साबित हुए टीम इंडिया के लिए और उन्होंने फिर से 5 विकेट चटकाए। तो शमी का दिन चलता है और कमाल ये बहुत ज़बरदस्त वो परफ़ॉर्मेंस देते हैं। फिर अगला मैच होता है इंडिया वर्सेस श्रीलंका जिसमें शायद श्रीलंका की टीम जो है वो एशिया कप जैसी परफ़ॉर्मेंस प्रो करती है, 50 ऑल आउट जैसी 55 ऑल आउट हो जाती है। भारतीय टीम उस दिन बहुत ही अच्छा स्कोर खड़ा करती है श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट। बात करें तो 357 रन बनाती है इंडिया की टीम, लेकिन जवाब में श्रीलंका की टीम सिर्फ़ 55 रन बना के आउट हो जाती है, सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ़ 55 रन। तो उस दिन भी हमें बॉलिंग डोमिनेंस देखने को मिला, अगर मैं बॉलिंग फिगर्स की बात करूँ तो उस दिन फिर से 5 विकेट लिए मोहम्मद शमी। तो शमी का जो परफ़ॉर्मेंस है, अगर हम बात करें बांग्लादेश के मैच के बाद बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त परफ़ॉर्मेंस दिया उन्होंने बांग्लादेश के बाद जितने भी मैचेस हुए, मैच हुआ न्यूज़ीलैंड से, मैच हुआ इंग्लैंड से, मैच हुआ श्रीलंका से, तो 3 मैचों में एक ज़बरदस्त छाप छोड़े हैं मोहम्मद शमी और इसी की वजह से इंडिया का जो है डोमिनेंस पता चलता है, पूरी दुनिया देखती है कि भारतीय टीम क्या ज़बरदस्त मैच खेल रही है और श्रीलंका की टीम महज़ 55 रन बना के आउट हो जाती है, अपना परफ़ॉर्मेंस को कंटिन्यू करती है श्रीलंका की टीम और उसके बाद अगला चैलेंज होता है हमारे पास साउथ अफ्रीका का और साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ भी वही होता है, साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम भी 100 रन नहीं बना पाती है, लेकिन भारतीय टीम उस मैच में 326 रन का स्कोर बनाती है, आता है विराट कोहली का 49वाँ शतक, करियर का 49वाँ शतक आता है उनका वनडे करियर का और बहुत ज़्यादा लोग सोच रहे थे कि साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम डोमिनेट किया इस बार किस तरह का परफॉर्मेंस होगा, लेकिन साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम 83 रन बना के आउट हो जाती है। फिर से टीम की बॉलिंग डोमिनेट करती है, लेकिन इस बार डोमिनेट करता है वो है रवींद्र जडेजा, इस बार स्पिनर्स डोमिनेट करते हैं। इस मैच की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो स्पिनर्स इस मैच में 7 विकेट चटकाते हैं और 3 विकेट मिलते हैं फास्ट बॉलर्स को। तो कोलकाता की पिच में स्पिनर्स डोमिनेट करते हैं और ये मैच पूरी तरह से भारतीय टीम जीत जाती है और इस जीत के साथ भारतीय टीम की जो उम्मीदें हैं वो वर्ल्ड कप की बढ़ जाती है कि अब हम विश्व कप जीत सकते हैं। कोई भी टीम अब हमें हरा नहीं सकती है। तो ये पता लगता है इस जीत के साथ जैसे ही उन्होंने अफ्रीका को हराया उसके बाद नीदरलैंड का तो आप जानते ही हैं गाइस किस तरह का परफॉर्मेंस देखने को मिला। 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ने बहुत ज़बरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस दी। पहले 3 ने 50 प्लस रन्स बनाए और उसके बाद 4th और 5th ने सेंचुरी जड़ी। तो हमने ये देखा नीदरलैंड से पहले को रोहित और कोहली दोनों 50 प्लस कर रहे थे, 80 प्लस जा रहे थे, दोनों में से कोई एक बल्लेबाज 80 प्लस करता हुआ नज़र आया। लेकिन नीदरलैंड के अगेंस्ट हमने क्या देखा कि विराट कोहली और रोहित ने ना सिर्फ 50 बनाई बल्कि एक-एक विकेट्स भी चटकाए और किस बात का सॉल्यूशन हमें मिला, हमें जिस चीज़ का इंतज़ार था कि छठा बॉलिंग ऑप्शन कौन हो सकता है, तो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली वहाँ पे हमने देखा विराट कोहली ने बॉलिंग की, वहाँ पे रोहित शर्मा ने बॉलिंग की, वहाँ पे सूर्य कुमार यादव ने बॉलिंग की। लेकिन ओवरऑल मेरे को क्या लग रहा है वहाँ पे विराट कोहली ही छठे बॉलिंग ऑप्शन होंगे। तो इस तरह से भारतीय टीम डोमिनेट करती है, पूरे लीग स्टेज में अनबीटन जाती है, 9 मैचों में 18 अंक। क्या ज़बरदस्त ये टीम रही है इंडियन टीम की। अब देखने वाली बात ये रहेगी कि सेमीफ़ाइनल किस तरीके का होता है, क्या सेमीफ़ाइनल में अ, इसी तरह का परफ़ॉर्मेंस रहता है क्योंकि अब इंडिया का जो है असली टेस्ट स्टार्ट होता है। तो ये बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त होने वाला है। इंडियन टीम की बात कर रहे थे। अब हम बात करेंगे दूसरी टीम जिसने क्वालीफ़ाई किया है सेमीफ़ाइनल के लिए, वो है आपकी साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम। अगर मैं बात करूँ जिस टीम की मैं बात करूँगा वो है साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम जो एक और दूसरी टीम जिसने सबको चकित किया। किसी ने अपने टीम में नहीं रखा था, किसी ने सोचा भी नहीं था, क्या साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम आएगी, लेकिन आती है। साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम आती नहीं है, दिलों में छा जाती है। बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त परफ़ॉर्मेंस करते हैं पूरे लीग स्टेज में। अगर मैं पहले मैच की बात करूँ, साउथ अफ्रीका की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ तो साउथ अफ्रीका की अगर मैं बात करूँ, तो पहला मैच था श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट। वहाँ पे वो छाप छोड़ते हैं, रिकॉर्ड्स की झड़ी लगती है। कोटला का मैदान होता है जहाँ पे 3 शतकवीर होते हैं और वहाँ पे एक बहुत ही बड़ा स्कोर देखने को मिलता है, 400 रन बनाते हैं। लेकिन मैच वो वन साइडेड नहीं जीतते, श्रीलंका भी रन बनाती है। मतलब हमने पहली बार देखते हैं कि दिल्ली के अरुण जेटली स्टेडियम में इस टाइप की पिच भी हो सकती है क्योंकि जनरली स्लो पिचेस मिलती है, स्पिन ट्रैक मिलता है, कम बैटिंग के लिए ज़्यादा असरदार होती नहीं है। लेकिन हमने उस मैच में देखा कि किस तरीके से उन्होंने रन्स बनाए। बात करते हैं अगर मैं बात करूँ तो बहुत ज़बरदस्त खेलते हैं उसमें, क्विंटन डिकॉक शतक लगाते हैं, फिर आपके एंडरसन शतक लगाते हैं, 108 रन बनाते हैं। मार्करम वर्ल्ड कप का सबसे तेज़ शतक लगाते हैं, विश्व कप का तेज़ शतक लगाते हैं अफ्रीका के लिए और वो भी आती है 52 गेंदों में, तो बहुत ही बढ़िया वो टाइम रहता है साउथ अफ्रीका के लिए। तो साउथ अफ्रीका की अगर मैं बात करूँ, तो बहुत ही बढ़िया स्कोर लगाते हैं, 428 रन का स्कोर लगाते हैं, उसके जवाब में श्रीलंका की टीम 326 रन बनाती है। तो वो एक ऐसा हाई स्कोरिंग गेम था जिसमें वो वन साइडेड गेम देखने को नहीं मिला, अफ्रीका की टीम ने जितने रन्स बनाए उस उतने उतने बराबर खाए भी। तो उस पे बात करें तो श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट हालाँकि इनकी बॉलिंग ने सबने मिलके विकेट्स चटकाए तो टीम ने ये मैच जीत लिया। तो अफ्रीका की टीम के लिए पहला मैच था जिसको इन्होंने 102 रन से हराया और उसके बाद अफ्रीका की टीम जो दूसरा मैच खेलती है वो खेलती है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट और वो एक स्टेटमेंट होता है। ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट खेलते हैं, लखनऊ में होता है पहला गेम और पहला गेम दिल्ली में होता है तो बहुत ज़बरदस्त खेलते हैं। साउथ अफ्रीका के लिए कंसिस्टेंसी दिखाते हैं क्विंटन डी कॉक। अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम ने अगर आज क्वालीफाई की है, उसका सबसे बड़ा रोल क्विंटन डिकॉक को है, तो ये गलत नहीं होगा। क्योंकि क्विंटन डिकॉक ने जिस कंसिस्टेंसी से शतक लगाया है, उसे भुला नहीं सकते। साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम जिनका आखिरी विश्व कप है, वो अपनी टीम के लिए अंतिम विश्व कप खेल रहे हैं और उसमें उन्होंने बैक टू बैक दूसरा शतक लगाते हैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट और ये बहुत बड़ा स्टेटमेंट देते हैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम को। ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम जो ऑलरेडी हार के आ रही होती है भारतीय टीम से, क्विंटन डिकॉक आते हैं, शतक लगाते हैं और वो पिच इतना ज़्यादा हेल्प नहीं कर रही थी बैटिंग को, बैटिंग के लिए ठीक-ठाक थी। अब वहाँ पे क्विंटन डिकॉक शतक लगाते हैं, उनके अ, साथ मार्करम थोड़ा साथ देते हैं, 56 रन बनाते हैं और सब लोग मिलके 20-30 रन जोड़-जोड़ के टीम एक अच्छा स्कोर बनाती है 311 रन का। लेकिन जवाब जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया खेलने आती है तो कोई जवाब नहीं होता ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सामने और अंडर लाइट्स बॉल स्विंग करने लगती है और फिर उसके बाद कहर बरपाते हैं बॉलर्स और एक-एक करके सब विकेट चटकाना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। रबाडा को मिलते हैं 3 विकेट, 2 शम्सी, 2 महाराज और 1 नगेड़ी को मिलता है, 2 मार्को यंसन को। तो सब लोगों ने जिस तरह से कोटला में सबने मिलके विकेट चटकाई थी, वैसे ही मिलके विकेट चटकाते हैं। ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम को दूसरी हार थमा दी जाती है और अफ्रीका की टीम बैक टू बैक 2 मैच जीत जाती है। वहाँ से लगने लगता है कि अफ्रीका की टीम अब जो है क्वालीफाई करने के राह में आ चुकी है। उसके बाद ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाद जो मैच होता है अफ्रीका का, वो होता है नीदरलैंड के साथ। नीदरलैंड की टीम, मतलब किसी ने सोचा नहीं था कि मतलब इस टीम का विजय रथ भी रोका जा सकता है। अफ्रीका की टीम, लोग सोच के चल रहे थे यार नीदरलैंड की टीम को आराम से अफ्रीका हराएगी, नेट रन रेट को बढ़ाने का सबसे बढ़िया मौका है, लेकिन हुआ उल्टा। हम उलटफेर का दौर शुरू हुआ इसी मैच से। अगर मैं बात करूँ साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम की, तो कितना बड़ा उलटफेर हुआ इस टीम के साथ और नीदरलैंड की टीम ने साउथ अफ्रीका को हरा दिया, जो कि वो सोच भी नहीं पा रहे होंगे। और रेन इफेक्टेड गेम में अफ्रीका की टीम टॉस जीत के बॉलिंग का फैसला करती है और जब वो बॉलिंग करने जाती है तो नीदरलैंड की टीम 245 रन टांग देती है 43 ओवर में और वहाँ पे जीत के हीरो होते हैं स्कॉट एडवर्ड्स जिन्होंने मैच खींच लिया अफ्रीका की यहाँ से। उसके बाद अफ्रीका की तरफ से मिलर 43 रन बनाते, इसके अलावा कोई और रन नहीं बना पाते। साउथ अफ्रीका की टीम को पहला अपसेट दिखाई देता। हमारे साथ है राहुल अय्यर। हेलो राहुल, वेलकम, हाउ आर यू एंड हैप्पी
Yeah, hi
दिवाली।
Kunal. Sorry, I missed yesterday and a part of today. Well, I was
या
outside celebrating Diwali, so I
तो हाउ इज दिवाली इन यूएसए?
yeah, it was good. I went to the temple, saw some crackers bursting, so it was nice.
Yeah, okay. So today we have a discussion of league stage. India, I have already discussed. I'm now discussing South Africa. So
Well,
Rahul,
yeah,
can
India's
you?
group stage it doesn't really need much discussing. It's been pretty perfect. Not too many negatives to talk about there. It's been they've been head and shoulders above everyone. Just to give my small thoughts on that. Yeah, so let's move on to South Africa now.
Yeah, so Rahul, have you any memory of the South African team where South Africa team got the first upset against Netherlands? Win the toss, choose to ball, but lost the match.
To be honest, the South African team batting is one that has to bat first if they want to. They have to bat first if they want to win matches. It's clear
Exactly.
that they cannot chase. Their best run chase came against Afghanistan, and even that small chase, like 245, they did it in 47.5 overs or something, 47.3 overs. So, and the other chase was which was successful was against Pakistan, where they were down to their final wicket.
Yes.
So, and all the other run chases, like we saw, they couldn't chase against Netherlands. Against India, they failed very miserably.
Yeah.
So,
But Rahul, this is very big set means you have defeating Australia, you are defeating bigger teams, you are defeating England with heavy margin. But when it comes to Netherlands, you lost while chasing, and with a big margin, 38 runs. It is a big against that team who plays once in a 4 years.
is yeah, it is. It's definitely a concern for South Africa, and I think if they are chasing in the semi-final against Australia, I think the odds are against them, especially in Kolkata, where they just put in a very bad performance against India. So it'll be impossible for them. I think. Oh yeah, they didn't even score 100 against India, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So we can expect them to crumble against Australia if they're in a run chase. Even if they're chasing 230 or 240, they might lose.
But Rahul, I think we have to agree with that South Africa qualification is because of Quinton de Kock consistency. His consistency was great. 4 century in a single edition is not a cup of tea that you can always make it. 4 century means makes a great player.
Yes, absolutely. Now he has to perform in the knockouts. That is the issue here. I think Quinton de Kock really needs to step up in the knockouts in order for South Africa to be successful, especially their batting first. A huge opportunity for Quinton de Kock to score. He did very well against Australia in the league stages, scoring a century over there. So he'll be looking to do it again.
Yes, but one more thing, Rahul, when we see the last match of this team, we have some views about that. Same thing I am saying now that Endit Filakwayo, how he chased the target, how he keep the things easily. That yes, we can chase it easily. So Felix Valle, who can gives you 5, 6, 7 overs, why not? You can use Marco Jensen, Felix Valle, Rabada and Nagiri, or Coetze or Nagiri, any one of the option along with Rabada. You will get four fast bowlers and extended batting. Means Maharaj can bat, your Felix Valle can bat, Marco Jensen can bat, even Rabada can gives you single double and Coetze little bit. So I think now I am giving the option of batting till nine in this way.
You can do that, but Feluquayo hasn't played too much cricket in this tournament. I think he's played only what one match, maybe. I think against Afghanistan. I think that's the only match he played. Feluquayo played only one match against Afghanistan.
But
So you have
still,
to go
strike rate is 105. Big thing is that strike rate 105, three sixes. Means a player coming in that order means you see the batting number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seventh batsman, three sixes.
The question is, can he perform with the ball? That is a big question for him to take the place of
I
a
think maybe
bowler,
you
for
can use him
example.
as a sixth bowler. Sixth bowler means maybe you can use him as a sixth bowler. You have
It is uh, not very possible in my opinion, because then what do you do with Marco Janssen? That is the big question. See, the batsmen who play, probably you'll have Temba Bavuma. Okay, he's the captain. He's not going to drop himself. Bavuma and Quinton de Kock are opening the batting. Rasi Vanderdussen will come. Aiden Markram, Henry Klassen, David Miller. These players you cannot really drop. So your top six are set, and then Marco Janssen is a good batsman. He has played well in many games. I don't think you can drop him as well. If you want uh, Feluquayo in your team, you'd have to replace like a Keshav Maharaj. Gerald Ketsi is good. Ingidi or Rabada, you'd have to replace one of these in order to accommodate Feluquayo.
yeah, of course. So this is a team South Africa. So let's see how this team will perform. But very amazing. If we talk about the batting order, Quentin de Kock, very good. Below average performance from Temba Bavuma, Rassi Dusan, good performance, good from Klassen, good from Markram also. But big concern for Klassen is when there is quality spin, you can do nothing. We have seen against India, we have seen against Afghanistan. So when it comes to quality spin, still Klassen is struggling. We can't say he is the best bowler of spinner all over the world now.
No, definitely not.
No, because now he's tested by spinners. So let's see. But who knows? Henry Klassen can be vital in Kolkata. So let's see how they will play the Australian team. But this is a South Africa team, and hope so. South Africa team somehow managed to remove the tag of chokers that it goes
One
always
thing
in
South
semi-final.
Africa can get some one positive for South Africa is during the group stage game in Lucknow, they took down Adam Zampa. Zampa returned figures of 1 for 70 in that game,
Yes.
so uh, that'll give South Africa some confidence. Although since then, Adam Zampa has grown in form and confidence.
Yeah, that will be always. But when Adam Zampa comes back, then it will be a concern for Klassen. But let's see, we will definitely discuss about that. So now the next team, the third team of the tournament to qualify is Australian team, definitely. So Rahul, if I talk about this Australian team, so one thing always comes in the mind: back-to-back two defeats, and two defeats was with a big team, India and South Africa. Means what a bigger setback for this team. Alex Carey dropped after first match. Suddenly English came, but things don't go well against South Africa. Back-to-back century from Quinton de Kock, and when it comes to second innings, suddenly ball got swinging and batsmen not be able to play. Another one-sided defeat for Australian team. So how what was the reaction at that time, Rahul, when you see the back-to-back two defeats of Australian team?
I definitely thought Australia was going to be in a tough position to qualify for the semi-final after those first two defeats, having lost very badly. But I knew they would bounce back. They won't. I didn't think that they were going to perform as badly as England or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka. I didn't think they'll perform that badly, but I definitely felt like they have an uphill task to qualify for the semi-final.
But when we always say in a movie there is a twist, so there was twist for Australian team. Adam Zampa finally comes up with a ball, four wickets spell in against Sri Lanka, first win for Australia, and first win for Australia against Sri Lanka was oxygen for them after that. They don't go backward position and they goes on performing. So if I talk about a big performer for this Australian team who make a qualification easier for Australia, first name is Adam Zampa. His wicket taking ability in middle overs helped Australian team a lot. So your views on Adam Zampa, Rahul, after first two matches, how the Zampa came back?
Yeah, he bounced back very well, and I feel before the tournament, I'm sure everyone felt that Adam Zampa had to do some heavy lifting in the absence of other quality spinners in the Australian team, and he's done that.
Yes, so Australian team, if I talk about the second player who was impactful, that was Glenn Maxwell. Glenn Maxwell, who not only take the wickets but always goes on for big innings. If I talk about the big innings for Australia, first game was Netherlands against Netherlands, fastest century, 40 ball century from Maxwell. Means he loves to play in Arun Jaitley Stadium. We see the match first game Sri Lanka versus South Africa where so many runs were played, almost more than 700 runs scored on that ground. So Maxwell comes in 38 over and in 12 overs makes century. So what a player Glenn Maxwell. He finally took the opportunity and after that everyone knows the innings of Glenn Maxwell 201. Before injury, he makes almost 80 runs, and after injury, he makes 120 runs. So, what is your call, Rahul, about Glenn Maxwell? How he played in injury means it is not a childish thing that you can say that, yeah, 200 made during chasing, that's it. But it was chase against quality spin. Noor Ahmed, Nabi, Rashid Khan, Mujibur Rahman, and you are injured also. You are in the ground flat. You are flat in the ground. You are not be able to stand. You can't walk properly, but you make a double century. So, what do you want to say about this player, Glenn Maxwell, a real fighter?
Yes, absolutely. It was a. I think it's the innings of the World Cup. If you ask me, perhaps even the innings of ODI cricket history in general. I mean, I don't think there's been an innings under such difficult circumstances than that innings. So it was a fantastic innings from Maxwell, and of course, Maxwell has played a lot of other great knocks as well. A lot of cameos. He's done his job as a finisher, like for example, against Sri Lanka, 31 not out of 21 balls. He finished the match very quickly along with Marcus Stoinis. Then against Netherlands, he scored that quick century, 106 of 44 balls. Then against New Zealand, 41 of 24 balls. Against England, he did not even play the match. Then against Afghanistan, that double century, that 201 not out of 128 balls he played. So he's been very consistent in this tournament. He's had a good tournament so far, and he'll be very crucial against South Africa as well.
Yeah, Rahul, if we see the double centuries in ODI format, all came while bat first. But this was the first time where it comes from chasing. We can say this is one of the best 200 knock of all the 200 knocks played till now in World Cup, because all are coming while batting first. Even 264 Rohit Sharma innings is quite less than the innings of this Maxwell, because this is a state where batsman likes runner. Means if I talk about previous rule, all our wants runner, that yes, there should be a runner, so that who will run for me and I will just hit sixes. But according to new rule, you can't get a single runner. So now it's up to the batsman capability. Your legs is not in that position that you can go. You can't step up. Still you can't step up. You have just your hands, using your skills. So Rahul, if I see several cricketers, but Maxwell is really different. He means different player in this planet. His switch hit, his reverse sweep means how many shots Maxwell can play. His straight drive, everything he can play while injury. So I think Maxwell is a sign for all the youngster. Means a player you can be like a Maxwell. Maxwell stand on crease and made it possible 91 for 7 to 292. It is not a every day you can't win match like this. This is a match of the century. You have to say this is a match of the century and the innings of the century. Glad Maxwell.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And no double hundred has been scored in a run chase. That is a
But
significant stat.
personally, Rahul, how you see Maxwell? Means you likes his sweep shot all the time. He use the sweep shot, reverse lap, reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's helped him win games for both his franchises and his national team. So it's his bread and butter stroke, you have to say.
Yeah, of course. And the last match where Australian team finally shows his real intent against Bangladesh team make a 300 chase like they are chasing 250 overs. Means Michel Marsh, he was playing like that. He's playing for Delhi Capitals at number three. Finally, Marsh came at number three position after when he was coming from. He was dropped from the squad because he was going home because of the death of someone in his house. After that, he's coming. So Michel Marsh. So describe Michel Marsh, Rahul. Means how you see his innings. It was, looks like he was playing in IPL.
Yeah, he played a great innings. Although I think Mitchell Marsh could have had a better tournament overall. Like, except the centuries against Pakistan and Bangladesh, I think he could have contributed better to this team's cause.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so Avinav is there. Yes, Avinav. Happy Diwali.
Happy
Yeah,
Diwali!
yeah. Tomorrow is Children's Day. Yeah, Happy Children's Day. Well,
Oh, yeah, Children's Day.
yeah,
I don't
14th.
really think of that too much, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Australian team. So anything you want to say, Avinav, about Australian team? How they came back? I think no comments, but I will say beware of this Australian team while in semi-finals, because they loves trophies only. They want trophies. They not look upon. They don't like stats. They like trophies only. Already they have 28 trophies in a cabinet.
Yeah, so they'll be really hungry for their 29th.
Yes, 29 trophies waiting for Australia. Let's see. So now the fourth team is, of course, New Zealand team. Rahul, how New Zealand started and how New Zealand ended? Anyone thought about that?
Well, to be frank, their start was a little bit misleading, I have to say. Four wins and zero losses. But out of
It
those
was
four wins,
looks
what
like that
came
New Zealand
against
will be the first team to qualify, but they are fourth.
it looked like New Zealand was going to be the first team, but again, you have to take their wins in perspective because in the five wins that they got, the victories were against Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Netherlands. These are their four victories, so you cannot really look too much into their wins. They defeated England, one strong team, but that's a little bit of a worry for New Zealand that they've lost to stronger teams against quality opponents. They lost against India, Australia, and South Africa, and also to Pakistan in spite of scoring 400 with the bat.
Yes, but some players that really step up for the team is, if I talk about the team, that is Rachit Ravinder. So Rahul, if I say you to describe Rachit Ravinder in your own words, so how you can say, means before start of the league stage in practice match, what we all are saying that Rachit Ravinder, I think he will not get a single chance. I think he will be benched. Let's see, he will get a chance or not. But Rachit Ravinder first match century, and after that he grows in this World Cup.
Yeah. Rachin Ravindra has been the surprise package of this tournament. I mean, definitely we didn't expect him to step up, be promoted to the top of the order, and then score runs. Really, that came out of syllabus, I'd have to say.
Yeah, of course. So this is the campaign of this Australian team. They fought really hard against Australia. Jimmy Nishan tried their best. Rachit Ravinder century came. All the things happened. Kane Williamson dropped two times. Still, he was carrying injury. When he comes against Bangladesh, he got a thumb injury. And after thumb injury, they came against Pakistan. Means Rahul, you have to say this is the first team who scored 400, and after that they lost by DLS method. Very unlucky. Make 400 and lost by DLS
It
method.
is unlucky, but at the same time, they had to bowl better than what they did. They conceded 200 runs in 25.3 overs. So that's where they lost the match. You have
And
to
I
say
think,
Pakistan knew it was going to rain and they scored quickly. New Zealand needed to do a better job of bowling and try to get wickets maybe, because in Duckworth Lewis games wickets play a big role in influencing the result. If you lose more wickets, then you're likely to get the result in your favor.
yeah, so this was that type of game, and where everyone said that if there is no rain, Pakistan definitely going to lose. But I don't think the way Fakar Zaman was playing, I think Fakar Zaman was missed his double century. I think so. The way Fakar Zaman was playing in that pitch, New Zealand have very only two bowlers, two fast bowlers, and their spinners not be able to take a wicket. Glenn Phillips, he gave some wickets against Australia. He was very good, but at against Pakistan, no answer from bowlers. So that was the great match. Yeah, so now let's come to the team that is team number five. These are four qualifiers who qualify for World Cup semi-final. So tomorrow we will talk about first semi-final game, that is India versus New Zealand. But now let's come to the position number five. That is, we all are not thought about that Pakistan will deserve that place, but still there is Pakistan due to his net run rate because of last two games. Yeah. So, well, Rahul, if I ask you the memorable event for the Pakistan, you will say that that is biryani only, because they have done nothing. They have only one match. Fakar Zaman step up, and in another game they win. That is about because of team don't play well against them. You have to say only one win convincingly, that was against New Zealand. Otherwise, they only eat biryani throughout the tournament.
Yes, to be frank, so they actually they started the tournament. The start of the tournament itself, Netherlands gave them some tough competition. All they only, I think, Pakistan only won by some 60 to 80 odd runs in the end, and even that Netherlands had a collapse, and they were like 100 for two or something, chasing 288, and they had a collapse and they ended up losing against Sri Lanka. They won the match, but Sri Lanka scored 344 runs against Pakistan in that game. And if not for death bowling, it could have been worse. Sri Lanka might have gotten close to 400 against Pakistan, and Pakistan managed to chase that down in spite of losing two early wickets. Fine, Uh, Actually, against India, they were in a good position. They were 155 for two, and then they collapsed and got all out for 191 all of a sudden, and there was no winning from there with the way India was batting. And then against Australia, they conceded 367, and then although they were competitive with the bat, they ended up losing that game too. Then came the upset defeat against Afghanistan. In spite of posting a competitive score, they couldn't defend it against Afghanistan's batting. And then against South Africa, the heartbreak where they lost by 1 wicket in the end. So really, their campaign got derailed right there, losing 4 games in a row. Yeah, they came back and won 2 games. They defeated Bangladesh, and then they defeated who else? I think it was New Zealand. That
Yeah, New
Duckworth
Zealand.
match. But yeah, overall disappointing for them. They defeated only the weak teams. Even among the weaker teams, they lost to Afghanistan. And then their win against New Zealand was on net run rate. So overall, not a great tournament for them, especially having come in with a lot of expectations right from the Asia Cup. It looked like they were a team to beat, but they did very badly in the Asia Cup. And they've done badly in this World Cup as well. So a lot of questions have to be answered, and I think the big reason is one is Pakistan's batting is not as strong as they make it sound. They say their batting has improved now, and now it is a strong batting lineup and all that. But the fact is, they're not stepping up when it matters. Pakistan's batting is not stepping up when it matters. Then bowling, they're really dependent on fast bowlers. They don't have strong spin bowlers at all. Even Netherlands have got Arya Dutt. Pakistan doesn't have proper spin bowling in the middle overs to get wickets. If you don't get wickets in middle overs, you will definitely be in trouble. And surprisingly, they don't play spin very well either.
Yeah, of course. So this was this type of tournament they have. But Rahul, if everyone is saying that Babar Azam is responsible for the loss of Pakistan, can you agree with it that only Babar Azam is responsible for that? Means not there's nothing from bowler side.
No,
Don't
no,
you
it's,
think that
mm,
Harris Rauf
no.
is mainly big culprit of this team? He's conceding more than 500 runs from his spell of all the matches.
Yeah, so yeah, you can't blame Babar Azam alone for losing. It's never, you see, cricket is a team sport. It's never the fault of one individual for a bad World Cup campaign. This is logic is same as how when India lost the World Cup in 2019, everyone, all the blame was put on Virat Kohli
Yeah.
for the loss. But you cannot blame one individual like that. Babar Azam's captaincy is definitely one of the reasons that Pakistan did not do well in this World Cup, but it's not the only reason. The other reasons are, like as I mentioned, the bowling did not step up. Pakistan's spin bowling department was very weak, and the pace bowlers also didn't step up. So Haris Rauf became a run machine with the ball rather than a wicket taking machine.
Yeah, of course. So this is the story of this Pakistan team. So let's see how this team will step up. And I think Power Azam has to do some magic for this team because always a great batsman has to step up when the team is in this situation. So next team is Afghanistan. I will say unluckier team. Means this team deserves to be in semi-final if they beat Australia easily. They got the opportunity, but it's okay. They will definitely uh, think about that also. They will uh, get so much knowledge from this World Cup that yes, you are the team who can beat anyone anytime. So if we talk about this Afghanistan team, not a good match. First game in I think it was Dharamshala. Yes, in Dharamshala, outfield was not that great, but at that time, first loss against Bangladesh team, then loss against Team India. But Rahul, in all the matches of Afghanistan, we see the intent from Afghanistan team that they try to win the matches. They are not just like Pakistan that no, we can't win it, so we will do nothing. No attempt from our side. Other teams will do whatever they want. So this was not type of approach. Their approach that they can win all the games, but unfortunate against Australia.
Yeah, you see, now actually, I want to add on a point with Pakistan, which I probably mentioned during the course of the tournament, but they are focused on things other than cricket. You see, their coach, when after losing against India, saying that they didn't play Dil Dil Pakistan in the crowd and saying that contributed to their defeat. So, and then also blaming umpires, blaming crowds, how crowds behave. So they're not focused on the cricket as such, and they're not taking responsibility for their performances on the field. When you see comments like that, they're not taking responsibility. Afghanistan, they didn't complain about anything. They've not been complaining about anything in this World Cup. They've gone about their business, and they've exceeded their expectations. They won 4 games. They've defeated England, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka in this tournament. So major achievement for them. Arguably, for the since the 1983 World Cup, this is the best World Cup of a minnow team on the big stage.
Yes, of course. And if I talk about the only centurion in this World Cup, that is Ibrahim Jadran. So, Rahul, how Astamullah Shahidi captaincy impressed you much? I think he's the best captain among all the teams. If I see the eliminator, 6 teams eliminated, but all of them, Shahidi was great captain. His approach was great.
Yeah, absolutely. He's led the side very well, in my opinion, and the results pretty much show it.
Yes, so Afghanistan team. But your comments against Australia, what Afghanistan team has done wrong? We have talked about that in Wankhede. You can't go with a spin heavy team. We see Noor Ahmed playing against Pakistan. Pakistan is okay, but when you playing against Australian team, big teams, you need one more fast bowler. So can we say that this was the one and only reason where they lost against Australia? They need one more fast bowler.
Yes, definitely they need an extra fast bowler. Having said that, if it wasn't for Mujibur Rahman's dropped catch of Maxwell, Afghanistan could have gone on to win in spite of not having an extra pacer. Because had Glenn Maxwell been out, had Mujib made that catch, that was game, set, and match against Australia. They would have won.
Yeah. Okay, so next team is England, means who disappointed each and every, not only England fans, all the cricket fans. Means before World Cup, if Rahul, if I am asking you or someone, all are saying that England is going to defend this trophy because they have good teams. They have Butler, they have Zaristo, they have David Malan, they have Harry Brook, means baseball approach. They have batting till number 8, 9, means all bowlers can bat. This is the only team. So things are there. But Rahul, where England team got wrong? They are overconfident.
Uh, Maybe you could say there could be an argument that they are overconfident, for sure. I mean, when we looked at this team before the World Cup, we all thought they are going to at least be in the final to defend their title, nothing less. And this is a team that just 1 year ago lifted the T20 World Cup in white ball cricket, and follow an ultra aggressive approach. We thought that was going to continue this time. And this squad is similar to the one that won the 2019 ODI World Cup. So I definitely expected better from them. But what I'll say is they didn't practice for this tournament at all. uh, when you spend 1 month playing a 100 ball tournament, and then the next month you only play 4 ODI matches, and that too just before the tournament, and other 3 matches you feel the second string team. This is bound to happen. You will not get the results you want. This is not the way to prepare for a World Cup. We've been critical of India many times for their preparation for the World Cup, but if you really look at it, India had probably the best preparation among all the teams. We played in the Asia Cup, a tournament, and we won that tournament. Then we had the two an ODI series against Australia playing in India. So we had some preparation, and only very few matches were Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli even rested. They took very little rest at all before the tournament. Even for that, we were criticizing them, but at least they played enough matches before the tournament. There were enough matches scheduled before the tournament. In England's case, they didn't even schedule enough matches. Only seven ODIs, and that too, three of them against Ireland, who didn't even qualify for this World Cup.
Yeah, of course. So this type of tournament England have. So Rahul, if I see the captaincy of Josh Butler means suddenly after losing they goes on changing, but do you think that Butler captaincy affects his Butler batting performance also? Butler was not looking aggressive in a flat track where England should enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. Butler's captaincy and batting were both flat in this tournament, and that played a huge role in England's uh, downfall.
Yeah, so this type of tournament England have, and we will see so many wholesome changes in this team. So let's see how this team will goes on when it comes to another World Cup. We will see so many changes. But overall, if I ask you, Rahul, a convincing match, I think one and only match they beat against Pakistan. They beat Pakistan in convincing manner. Other than that, all matches they are not winning it convincingly. I think only one match against Pakistan they
They
win it
were
convincingly.
not winning convincingly in other matches. They were losing convincingly, rather. They were losing convincingly against Pakistan. I'll tell you what did motivate them. In fact, before the Netherlands game too, they were at the bottom of the table and realized if they don't raise their game, they'll end up missing the Champions Trophy. That
Yeah,
carrot was actually, dangled out in the middle of the tournament. That top eight teams will make the Champions Trophy. So England raised their game, and the other thing that helped them against Pakistan was that Pakistan was already eliminated as a result of England batting first. So uh, that's what happened. England was motivated. Pakistan was not very motivated after England chose to bat first. So that resulted in England doing well and dominating that match and getting into the Champions Trophy.
yeah. So now we will talk about the next team that Rahul Iyer always hate. That this team should not be deserved to play cricket. So this is the statement from Rahul. So I know Rahul, you know the team name also.
That team, I think, which is to the east of West Bengal, that country which is to the east of West Bengal and became a country in 1971. Yes, Bangladesh.
So if I talk about this team, this is the second team who is in the controversy after Pakistan. The second team
Uh,
of controversy
as a
team.
matter of fact, Pakistan's controversies are only off the field.
Yes.
And that too from former cricketers and politicians. That's where the controversy comes. With Bangladesh, the controversy is on the field itself, on the field and with currently active players. So Shakib Al Hassan, he got Tamim Iqbal dropped from the World Cup squad before the tournament, and I think it serves Bangladesh right that they have performed very miserably in this tournament with only two wins. Uh, and You see, when you this is bound to happen when you drop your main player. Tamim Iqbal, who's been an iconic opener for Bangladesh for so many years. Why can't he play? Why does he have to retire before a World Cup? The Prime Minister did the right thing, persuading him to withdraw his retirement. But Shakib Al Hassan didn't want Tamim Iqbal in the team. So you're that's bound to happen. You can say that you're backing Tanzid Hassan and his abilities. That seems to be now a catchphrase. We've seen that argument with Surya Kumar Yadav as well. Somebody fails constantly, but you keep choosing them in the team, and what is the justification they will give? We are backing their abilities. The stats don't matter. you can't say that in this day and age that stats don't matter. And I'm actually a believer that stats are the ultimate thing that matters. Okay, if you can't keep backing somebody's ability if they keep on failing and ignoring people who can come in and put in a better performance. So many people, especially in the subcontinent, they work hard in domestic cricket to pile on runs and impress the selectors, and you're ignoring them to give chances to a consistently underperforming player. That is totally not fair. And I'm looking at Tanzid Hassan's performances right now. I'm struggling to find many good innings. I remember he scored a half century against uh, India, and a few of the other games he had some starts, but he could not capitalize on them. He was scoring less than 20 runs and getting out. This is not what you expect from an opener, to be frank. Okay, Rohit Sharma as an opener, he wasn't making big daddy hundreds or anything or getting out for half centuries, but he was scoring quickly enough to create an impact on the game. You can't score, say, as an opener that I'll score 17 off 10 balls and that is enough for the team. That is absolutely not enough for the team's cause. Look at Tanzid Hassan's performances. He gets off to quick starts, and but if he goes on, he can be good. But his top innings, he's crossed out of the 9 innings he has played. He's crossed 20, scored below 20 in 7 of those innings. Only one half century against India, and against Australia, he scored a 36 off 34. But this is not at all good enough as an opener. I am very sure that Tamim Iqbal would have done a much better job than what Tanzid Hassan did. And in spite of him underperforming, they never bothered to drop him. Okay, this is a totally inexperienced player. Only yesterday he started playing international cricket, and you're giving him the responsibility of opening in a World Cup. Why? Just because Shakib Al Hasan has a vendetta against a more experienced teammate. So this is well deserved for Bangladesh. They won only 2 matches out of 9, and they got very lucky that they're in the Champions Trophy. They really don't deserve a place in the Champions Trophy. Uh, Sri Lanka and Netherlands had the same number of wins as them, but Netherlands, getting 2 wins in a tournament means they've had a great tournament. For a team like Bangladesh, which has been playing so much of international cricket and playing big matches, 2 wins is a pathetic performance. And even one of those wins, which came against Sri Lanka, is a totally tainted win, in my opinion, because they got a batsman timed out, which impacted the game. You can't say that didn't have an impact on the game. Anyone who thinks that that timed out dismissal of Angelo Matthews didn't have an impact on the game is lying to themselves. They're absolutely lying to themselves and being in denial.
Yeah, of course. And one more reason for this Bangladesh defeat is giving a proper number to a proper batsman. Means you are using Mahmudullah at number 7. You are giving Mehdi Hassan Miraj to top 4 position. Means he's not a batsman still of top 4. Means top order he can't play. And for Mehdi Hassan Miraj, you are disturbing each and every team player's balance. Means in fact, Shakib Al Hasan, his best performance came in 2019 World Cup. He was consistent, making hundreds, 50s, regular intervals in 9 matches. If I see for Bangladesh team, he made 450s, 200s. So that was the great stats from this Bangladesh team. Shakib Al Hasan sacrificed his position. He gives to Shanto. Shanto was not so consistent. He was giving to Mehdi Hassan Miraj. Rahul, I think for Mehdi Hassan Miraj, Shakib Al Hasan totally disbalanced the team position. Means any player is coming in any number, don't know. It was looks like a tossing a coin. Yes, you will place in this position in this match.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that was consistent was the openers. Those were. I'm looking at the team. I actually do note down the scores somewhere separately, so I can analyze. It'll be easier for me to analyze. But I'm looking at this, and in the batting order, the only thing that was consistent was Tanzid Hassan and Litan Das
Yes.
opening the batting. Other than that, the batting lineup was very inconsistent. They kept on shifting Najmul Hussain Shanto between number 3 and number 4, and they kept, and sometimes brought in Mehdi Hassan at number 3. Sometimes Shakib Al Hassan was coming at number 4. Sometimes Mehdi Hassan. Sometimes Mushfiqur Rahim. So they were absolutely clueless. They didn't know how to handle their batting order. They had no clue at all. Sometimes Tawhid Hridoy was coming in at number 4. So they didn't know what they were doing with their batting order. It's very clear they didn't have any clarity over what they were going to do. It was total musical chairs below the opening slots.
Yeah, of course. So this is the story of this Bangladesh team. So let's see how in the absence of Shakib Al Hasan they will play. But against Australia, they show finally that without Shakib Al Hasan they can make 300 runs. That was the good thing that they have shown in the last game. Without Shakib, 300 runs in World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you have to say is that this Bangladesh team, they don't like Shakib Al Hasan as a leader. However much of a great player he is, it looks like they don't like him as a leader.
Yes,
He's not loved by his
and for Shakib
teammates.
Al
And
Hasan.
how can they love him when you drop your senior most opening batsman Tamim Iqbal just for your personal reasons, just for your personal vendetta? How do you expect to have respect among your teammates? And I just want to know that.
And one more thing for Shakib Al Hasan is his consistency, means how he maintained the number one position of all rounder in a format. That is also makes a great player, but his intention is not great in a field. Means how you can give the time out to a batsman. Don't know. No sports ethics is there for Shakib Al Hasan.
To be frank, it's not the timed out that is a problem in that instance, because timed out is within the laws. It's a completely legal form of dismissal, but it's the way it came about, the timed out dismissal. Just because a batsman had a loose strap in his helmet, you decided to appeal for a timed out. uh, because if Angelo Matthews took maybe 1 minute longer to adjust his helmet, and there was no helmet issue, and he took a little bit longer to take his guard and be ready to face the ball, I don't think Shakib Al Hasan would have appealed. Sometimes you need to have an exception to the rule, but Shakib Al Hasan decided to appeal for it, which no other, I don't think any other team would have done. Even the Aussies, who are not known for sportsmanship exactly, I don't think even the Aussies would have appealed for a timed out in that manner. So it was completely bad sportsmanship from Shakib Al Hasan, very unsportsmanlike thing to do, and it seems it was Shanto who told him to appeal for. So you can see that it's not just the snake rots from the head. Shakib Al Hasan doesn't behave in a very sportsmanlike way, and his teammates are also the same. To be very frank, nevertheless, I think there is probably a rift in Bangladesh cricket. We may not know about it. I'm not going to say it with certainty that there is a rift. There's a chance there's probably not a rift as well. But if there is, I won't be surprised, because Shakib Al Hasan is not a great person. He, frankly, because he's a great all rounder, the fame has gotten to his head. He thinks he is bigger than the sport. He thinks he is bigger than Bangladesh cricket, and I'm sure many people in Bangladesh do not like that.
Yes, of course, really disgusting personality. Okay, so now let's come to Sri Lankan team. So when it comes to Sri Lanka, Rahul, so what we have seen that this team is looking inconsistent from the starting game. Means if we see this team, don't know Shanaka how he leads the team. This team was great in qualifier. He win each and every game convincingly. They have Mahindu Hasranga, they have Tekshana, but only two players that they are missing is Hasranga and Samira in starting games. But they have good sources of fast bowling. Teams have, yeah, they have Mahesh Dikshana, they have Villa Lage who take the 5 wickets in Asia Cup. Yes, Asia Cup final was that type of final where They don't want to think about that because they want to came out of that 50 all out. No one teams like this type of score in ODIs. But if I talk about the campaign of this team, really disappointing. Means you tried your best in the first game to win it, but I know 400 chase is not easy in that flat track. After that, Pakistan, you lost against Pakistan. Means back to back two loss, Rahul, means you are making a big score, but your bowler is not be able to defend it. Big thing is their bowler. I remember that name. Yeah,
Patirana.
yeah, Pathirana. Means I don't know means how he is playing. He was playing in IPL like a death bowler, but when it comes to ODIs, he's giving so many fifers. Means 5 runs.
To be frank, Patirana is bound to be erratic when he doesn't get it right with his line and length. He was getting it right when he played for CSK, but look, IPL is different and ODI World Cup is a little bit different from a bowling point of view because in IPL you only have to bowl 4 overs in a game, and that's not a big thing. When the batsmen are going after you, you can get wickets, and you only have to bowl 4 overs in a game. ODI cricket is a little more serious. You have to bowl 10 overs in a game, so he's not able to keep up with the demands of bowling 10 overs in an ODI match. I suspect that's what's going wrong for him.
But the
So
only game that Sri Lanka was very convincing win that was against England. Means in that game, I want to watch that game again and again. Means what a bowling performance in Bangalore flat wicket. You put England down and you won it convincingly by 8 wickets. What a spell from Angelo Matthews. All-rounder performance.
yeah, Angelo Matthews and Lahiru Kumara stepped up in that game, and Kasun Rajita as well. That was actually the best game of the tournament for Sri Lanka, and at that
And
point,
that was the
point they
last
made,
win also.
yes, unfortunately, but at that point they made it 2 wins in 3 games, and it looked like okay they were going to turn it around. They had a chance to turn the tournament around after three consecutive defeats. They had the win over Netherlands and then a win over England. So you thought that Sri Lanka would be able to turn this tournament around with that win. And if they just defeat Afghanistan, they'll have 3 wins and 3 losses. They'll be in contention for a semi-final spot. Everyone thought that.
Yeah, but things don't happen. Great for this team. Back to back four loss, and now Rahul. One question: Kushal Mendes before captaincy, he was great in first 2 games, but when it comes to captaincy, it affects his batting. So, what do you think? Shanaka should take the captaincy, and Kushal Mendes should play freely, or Kushal Mendes should take it.
I think Kushal Mendes deserves a chance at the captaincy. He gave Sri Lanka a little bit of hope for some time, but unfortunately, it didn't pan out for them.
Yeah, of course. So very disastrous performance from Sri Lanka. Now it comes to the last team, that is Netherlands, who plays once in a fourth year. Means if I talk about their journey, means their players they work hard. Means they are doing part-time jobs in all the years, and then they are playing cricket only in World Cup once in a 4 years. Means yeah, they play T20 World Cup also. They surprises the big teams. They surprise South Africa. So, what your views about Netherlands, Rahul? Means what other teams should do for Netherlands? Can we make tri series or bilateral series for Netherlands team at least T20 and ODI for the development?
Yeah, definitely. So Netherlands, they actually had a good path to qualify for this World Cup. If you recall, that they were part of the 13-team World Cup Super League, which is now scrapped. And
Yeah.
Netherlands, they earned that spot along with the test playing nations to be part of the World Cup Super League by winning some, I think, some intercontinental championship by finishing at the top of that. They managed to make it to the World Cup Super League, and this had a that was good for their cricket. It was a big moment for their cricket. See, we big teams like India, Pakistan, Australia, we look down on bilateral series now. We've developed a habit of saying bilaterals are useless. No need to uh, worry about them. But for a team like Netherlands, this is a big thing. Having being able to play with the bigger teams. If we, from our point of view, we look at a series with Netherlands and say, okay, this is waste. We don't need to play with them, or who will watch India versus Netherlands. But for from a Netherlands point of view, it's a chance to play with the bigger teams and improve their cricket. So the casual fan doesn't understand this very concept. As a matter of fact, I heard that during the World Cup Super League, cricket was being shown on TV for the first time in the Netherlands.
Yes,
These World Cup Super League games, and I even managed to see a few of the games that were being played in the Netherlands. I think in 2022, when Netherlands they hosted England, they hosted Pakistan, and those games were very well attended games. They don't have huge capacity stadiums, but I saw that the games were well attended games. So cricket was gaining traction over there, and then they scrapped the World Cup Super League. So now for a team like Netherlands, it's going to be difficult to get bilateral series. It'll probably have to happen through teams who are traveling to England, because Netherlands is on the way to England. So when they play in England, they'll have to arrange a series in Netherlands also at that time to give them the exposure. But it's going to be very hard, because it's not just about touring Netherlands as well. How many teams will want to host Netherlands? Let's put it that way. I don't think the bigger teams will want to host Netherlands, because they'll be about revenue. If there's no consequence attached to the games except for rankings, most teams are not going to would not want to host Netherlands. They'll want to host a bigger team who will draw the bigger crowds. As a matter of fact, how many teams will want to host Zimbabwe?
yes.
Let's ask that. Zimbabwe, being a test playing nation,
Only
will
Pakistan.
Australia look? They hosted Zimbabwe during the winter last year,
Yes.
and they hosted them in I think in Townsville. They played an ODI series in Townsville. That was part of the World Cup Super League. But would Australia have hosted Zimbabwe if there was no World Cup Super League? I don't think Australia would go out of their way to host Zimbabwe during the winter, during their winter. I
Yeah.
don't think they would have done that. In fact, they had time during their summer to arrange a series with Zimbabwe. They had enough time to do that, but they didn't, because Zimbabwe is not of interest to them. They would rather host in teams like India or England. Those are the crowd pullers in Australia. Similarly, for England, hosting India and Australia will bring in the crowd. So this is a big issue. I think you need to attach some kind of consequence, like in terms of points allocation, in order to make Netherlands play with big teams outside the World Cup. Coming to this World Cup, they didn't make the eight teams from the World Cup Super League, and they ended up playing the qualifiers instead. But they came through the qualifiers to make the World Cup in India. So that is a great achievement for them. It's unfortunate that now they may not have this pathway in the future, or it'll be very tough for them to make it through.
Yeah, but in future we are seeing the news that might be there will be 14 teams. So who knows the four teams remaining that who was not deserved that though don't qualify, that is Zimbabwe, West Indies,
To be
Ireland.
frank, I feel this 14 expansion to 14 teams is a bit motivated, in part because there are 12 test playing nations, 12 full member nations. So they want all the full member nations to qualify for the World Cup. So if you have 14 teams, then you can have all 12 test playing nations qualify
But
for the World Cup. And then, so Netherlands not being a test playing nation, they'll have to compete for two spots basically. It, actually, eight teams qualify for the World Cup directly based on the rankings, but unfortunately, out of the six teams that other six teams that qualify, four of them will be the test playing nations that didn't qualify in the top eight of the ranking of the ODI rankings, and that means Netherlands will have to compete for two spots basically, which is not really very fair on them. There are many good uh, teams among the associate nations who can take the two spots. So they'll have a heavy competition. It's not at all justice to them, especially having had a very good World Cup in 2023 with two wins. As a matter of fact, if you look at Ireland, for example, they got really bumped off in the 2019 and 2023 World Cups because in 2007 they defeated Pakistan. In 2015, in 2011 they defeated England. 2015 they defeated West Indies. So they were also on the rise, but they got completely bumped off by the World Cup being reduced to 10 teams in 2019 and 2023.
Yeah, of course. So, Rahul, one last question. This is a league stage, complete league stage of 10 teams. But Rahul, if West Indies and Zimbabwe got opportunity to play in this ground, even Ireland, where will they finish? I think West Indies going to qualify definitely. I think so.
Are you asking me like in the sense if the World Cup gets expanded, if the number of teams are increased, or
Yes,
if
and
they qualified
in
instead of
condition.
Sri Lanka or Netherlands like that?
Yes, yes. Means if West Indies got a chance, Ireland, Zimbabwe, and in this type of condition where you get some help to spinners, some help to fast bowlers, some flat wicket, don't you see that Zimbabwe and West Indies means Zimbabwe can qualify? I don't know, but West Indies definitely going to qualify.
To be frank, Zimbabwe had a chance, a glorious chance to qualify for this World Cup because they were the ones hosting the qualifiers for this World Cup. I definitely thought Zimbabwe would qualify for the World Cup, but that didn't happen. They ended up losing to Scotland and getting knocked out, unfortunately. West Indies totally underperformed in the qualifiers, in my opinion, with only
Yes,
wins
but
against
Rahul, I am
USA and
asking.
Nepal to show for.
But I am asking about the team combination means
If
Shai
they
Hope,
qualified for the
Brandon.
World Cup, maybe they might have won one or two matches. I don't think they would have done much better than what Sri Lanka and Netherlands and Bangladesh did. I don't think they would have done much better. West
I
Indies'
think
best chance of
Rahul they can
winning
win
this World
five
Cup would
games.
have been playing in Mumbai and Bangalore, where the grounds are small. Maybe they would have called back Chris Gale in order to hit big sixers and
I don't think means their opening combination was settled. If I talk about West Indies team, they have Shai Hope means one of the consistent ODI player for them. Brandon King was there. Kyle Mears was there in the middle. Jason Holder, who loves this type of pitches, the flat track. I think in Delhi they are going to hit big sixes in Mumbai also.
yeah, definitely. But at the same time, okay, they have talented players, but they don't have temperament. That's the problem.
Yeah,
They don't have any
I
temperament, and
think
this is not.
definitely we are going to see
And
Russell
this is
also.
not a T20 format. As much as ODI cricket has changed, and you see more sixers being hit, and there have been high scoring games in this World Cup. You still need the temperament. You can't just hit every ball for a six in an ODI format. You need to have some temperament. You need to have a plan B if things don't go according to plan. And West Indies is not good at that. I don't think they have the temperament to compete with these teams. Uh, in the World Cup. They wouldn't have done much better. At best, they would have won three matches and not two. But even three matches, very doubtful that they would have won. Same with Zimbabwe. I think they would have won one or two games and that's it. I don't think they would have made much of a difference to the competition. But
Yeah,
to me, it's a very moot argument if you ask me how they would have performed if they qualified in the World Cup because you have to see that they also came through the same qualifiers that Sri Lanka and Netherlands came through in this World Cup, and they failed miserably. Zimbabwe, unfortunately, they were going well until they got crushed by Sri Lanka, and then they got upset by Scotland, and it was over for them. But the West Indies totally underperformed in the qualifiers. They had the same opportunity that Sri Lanka and Netherlands had to make to qualify for the World Cup, and they did not do it. So there's no question of really asking, oh, if we made the World Cup, we would have uh, done well. The fact is, they didn't make the World Cup. So the argument ends right there for me.
yeah. So unfortunate for West Indies that They can't qualify for Champions Trophy also. Let's see, in 2027 there will be something for West Indies team. In South Africa, I guess they are going to play it, right? I think South
Yes,
Africa
they
is
are
in the
going to
way.
play the World Cup in South Africa for sure. We have to see how the South African team is, whether they can, what to say, build a team that can lift a World Cup for the first time. They are playing at home. England, after hosting the World Cup all these years, only won it in 2019.
Yeah,
South Africa will be hosting, I think, for the second time in their history. Last time they hosted was 2003, but of course, Australia was too good in that World Cup, so no chance for South Africa.
yeah. Okay, so guys, now this is a week where Indian team are very eagerly to wait for a World Cup trophy. So there is so many things that are going in the mind what we will do against New Zealand. So tomorrow we will definitely talk about that India versus New Zealand. What is the history? So history of knockouts after since 2003 we are not be able to win against New Zealand in knockouts of 50-50 World Cup. So that is the history. So let's see how the things will goes on, what type of pitch will be there. So every information you will get, and we will have a good discussion with Rahul. So Rahul, anything in your mind means India is going to play with New Zealand and some negatives for India also, or negatives from New Zealand also. New Zealand struggling with a bowling lineup means they don't know which bowlers are going to come. Is Sodi not that much match is Sodi got? And for Team India, of course, we have not tested when Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma got out cheaply, then how Team India is going to perform. So we have to see that thing also. All the questions are coming in the mind. So Rahul, let's see how the team will goes on. But we are confident that we are going to qualify for final. So I am asking you percentage. How much percentage India is going to qualify for final, Rahul?
To be frank, I think this Indian team looks very perfect right now. They've been performing in a very flawless manner. Yes, there is the bit of worry about what they will do if they are really tested, put in a very tough situation right now, because India's never faced such a tough situation, and especially with Kohli and Rohit failing, which has happened regularly in knockouts, both of
Yes,
them
in the same match,
failing.
same match.
But I think India has a 70% chance of winning this game. I actually thought they were favorites in 2019 as well,
Yes,
in spite
but
of a lot of glaring weaknesses in the lineup at that time. I was confident India could go on and win that World Cup. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I think India has a 70% chance over here. And as far as Kohli and Rohit failing is concerned, there are only so many times they can fail in a knockout game. When they play so many knockout matches, there's bound to be some good performance somewhere along the line. So you cannot say that they will definitely fail again. I think I see a turnaround coming from at least one of them, be it Rohit or Kohli. I see one of them stepping up in this big game.
yeah, so let's see. Tomorrow we will have a great discussion. So how much you enjoy, Rahul, the discussion of today? Means this was a long discussion of almost 1 hour about each and every team in detail.
Yes, a very comprehensive one in my opinion. Probably, I think one of the most enjoyable shows.
Yeah, of course. So let's see, and we will definitely try to see who will going to win the match. So not as an Indian fan, but as a cricket fan, we have to see how the India and New Zealand game will goes on. So big games are coming up, guys. And after World Cup, we have a T20 World Cup preparation starts. So we have eyes there also. World
There
Cup,
is also a very interesting qualifiers coming up in being hosted by Namibia. I think two World Cup spots are up for grabs in that T20 World Cup, and seven teams are playing for it. Seven African teams. So two
yeah.
teams will qualify for that. The big name teams in that are Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. I think two of these three teams are going to make the World Cup.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Rahul, and hope so. You enjoying the Diwali. So
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. So guys, just celebrate the festival, not by bursting crackers, but eco-friendly. Only lighting diyas, eat sweets. So that is good for environment. If you save the environment will save you. Right, Rahul?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So see you tomorrow, Rahul. We have a good discussion about India versus New Zealand. So it will be going day after tomorrow. So enjoy, guys, and happy Children's Day to everyone. Okay. So you also enjoy Children's Day, Rahul. Of course, the birth date
Yes,
of
absolutely.
birth anniversary of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Yeah.
Yes,
So
absolutely. We'll enjoy that. Hopefully, we'll make New Zealand our child on
yeah, on
the day
next day.
after.
Yes, of course. Hope so. If we do it after 2003, that will be a record. After 2003, finally we
Yes,
come up. After 20 years. Yeah, big time.
yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching
Thank
this
you.
and share this video. If you want a detail in this video, you will get all the detailed analysis of each and every team in this World Cup, how they are performing. So till then, thank you very much. Goodbye and good night.
Good night.